poisonous gases that have been detected in the air over this community. Access to information has been coming from an information hub that was set up right here at the Pahoa-Kapoho Road intersection with Highway 130. This was built up by the community to serve this community. It's a place for people to get the very latest updates, along with a hot meal in some cases, and then supplies, because so many either didn't make it back into their houses today or do not have a house to return to. Lisa, as you just mentioned, with that latest confirmation from civil defense officials that 30 homes have now been claimed as a result of the active eruptions taking place within the Leilani Estates evacuation zone. Reporting live here in Pahoa, Mileka Lincoln, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you very much, Mileka. One of the first homes to be devoured by lava belonged to Leilani Estates resident Amber Makuakane. The Pahoa elementary school teacher left her house on Makamai Street on Thursday night with hundreds of other evacuees. The single mother of two says she's not dwelling on what her family lost. Instead, the 37-year-old is focused on trying to rebuild, but she still hasn't told her young children that their home is gone.
I need to figure that out. Yeah, my son asks, Mommy, can we go home?
Right now, Makuakane and her children are staying with a friend in Puna. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help them. For more information, head to our website, hawaiinewsnow.com. As you heard today, authorities allowed anxious evacuees to return to their homes to quickly pack up important items that had been left behind. Ben Gutierrez is standing by live with details on that rush. Ben.
Thanks very much, Lisa. We are here at the Emergency Operations Center for Hawaii County Civil Defense, and Civil Defense's announcement early in the day that they would allow residents back to get some of those belongings were welcomed by those who've been wanting, even demanding, the chance to go into the Leilani Estates subdivision, even if it's just for once, to get their precious belongings after being forced to leave on such short notice.
It was just like the most joyful gratitude of, oh, yes, we can go back and get those things we can get our hands on.
Liz Lovejoy Yunt got the word at Pele's Kitchen, the Pahoa restaurant she co-owns.
Try to hurry because you might be able to go back for another load.
There was some brief confusion. Residents were told they would have to sign in at the relief station near the Pahoa High School, but then
letting people eat down to Miley Street only. Get your belongings and get back out.
After proving they were residents with their IDs, Yunt and others finally drove in.
Kind of looks like somebody came in already.
And went into action, packing up clothes and mementos that could fit into their small cars.
If we get to go a second load, then we'll pick things that maybe would make our life more comfortable. But right now we're living out of a backpack.
Yay. Oh, honey. Hi, sweetie.
Oh,
they were able to find one of their 5 cats. They left food for the other 4. As the Yunts and others quickly gathered what they could, there was almost no sign of the eruption.
And from our house, you can't tell there's anything wrong except for an ominous-looking cloud coming from lower Leilani.
But even they aren't allowed to take a close look at how Madame Pele has changed their neighborhood.
There's roadblocks that you notice right away, and as you go down the hill, you can see that Leilani Avenue doesn't exist anymore. There's a black lava thing and everything's all gone.
And that's a reminder that this house, their home, is also in danger.
The impact of what that reality is and saying goodbye and just hoping for the best, but not knowing.
Civil defense officials announced late this afternoon that they will be allowing people to go in once again over the next several days during daylight hours to retrieve personal possessions, once again, weather and the eruption permitting. Reporting from Civil Defense in Hilo, Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
Fine. I'm in my neighborhood about 2 miles. I'm not leaving, and we got some lava here.
There are still about a dozen holdouts who are refusing to leave the Leilani Estate subdivision. Again, the area is under a mandatory evacuation. Hawaii County Civil Defense says the eruption seems to be growing and that the pattern of the fissures seems to be centered around Luana Street.
There's a sizable flow in that area. As the vents keep erupting, pushing out lava, the flows will create, and every once in a while, seems like I think 2 other vents open up, and seems like they've been to the west.
Magno says that authorities are also seeing lava flows starting to become longer than the fissures. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is back open again, but only partially. Arlene Kawano explains.
The park reopened about 3 o'clock. It's a soft opening, though, meaning most of it is still off limits after powerful earthquakes rocked the area Friday afternoon.
The main entrance to the park will be opening.
After turning away thousands, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is finally able to accommodate visitors again. Many headed straight for Halema'uma'u crater. Friday, hundreds of earthquakes rattled the park, but it was a 6.9 magnitude that did the most damage, forcing mandatory evacuations.
We have more than 2 million visitors a year that come here, so this has been a big disappointment for a lot of people that we're not open, and especially now that they can't access Leilani.
The soft opening contains the visitors, so if the seismic activity picks up again, the park can quickly evacuate and close. I'm Lynn Kawano, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you very much, Lynn. And all public schools will be open tomorrow, except for 5 charter schools on the east side, which will be closed. Now, this includes Kua'okala New Century, Kaumeke Ka'eo, Ke'ana La'ahana, Kekula o Navahi o Kalani o Pu'u, and the Hawaii Academy of Arts and Sciences. Another big concern for many residents is a geothermal plant that's not far from one of the fissures. Chelsea Davis spoke with county officials and joins us to explain what authorities are doing about the potential danger. Chelsea.
Yeah, Lisa, the Puna Geothermal Venture plant is less than a mile away from one of the fissures. The plant shut down and workers have evacuated. But the main concern for many in the community is the large amounts of extremely flammable substances still on site. The Hawaii County Civil Defense Administrator says the Puna Geothermal Venture plant is only about a half-mile away from the nearest fissure. PGV is a geothermal energy conservation plant, and the electricity generated from it is sold to Hawaii Electric Light Company and then distributed to customers. Inside the facility, highly flammable substances are stored.
That's the main reason why I'm leaving, actually. You know, I understand that the lava can come down, but much more likely, it's going to come over here. And that's directly in the line of the geothermal. And that makes me feel very, very unsafe.
County officials say fortunately right now, the action seems to be headed in the opposite direction of the plant.
Everything's still on property. They moved it to high ground just in case any flows would start coming their way, give them a little bit more time. But, you know, their plans are made to get them out of there if it gets to the next level.
The councilwoman for the district says she spoke with officials at the plant and was told they're complying with their evacuation plan, which is approved by the Environmental Protection Agency and the State Health Department. And that plan is based off of risk analysis, meaning
if every drop of pentane that is being stored on site, I think it's between 50 to 60,000 gallons, were to ignite simultaneously, would it be able to cause a fire in the nearest residence? And the evaluation says no. It might cause glass to shatter from the explosion, but it could not cause a fire at the nearest residence.
The mayor and civil defense officials do have the authority to order those flammables to be removed from the site, which has its risks as well. But Magno says they are prepared to give that order if and when that time comes. Chelsea Davis, Hawaii News Now.
All right, thank you, Chelsea. Many people are worried about the air quality due to all of the volcanic haze. Let's check in with Guy Hagi for the latest fog outlook. Guy.
Well, Lisa, the trade winds are filling in. That means good air quality for most of the state. And these winds will hold firm all the way through Wednesday. So the fog plume coming off the Big Island will be pushed to the south. But for the Big Island, increased volume of fog from the new eruptions means dangerous air quality for the neighborhoods downwind of the lava fields. The concentration of sulfur dioxide is especially thick in this area in red from Pahala down to Naalehu. Then it builds in the afternoon up towards Kona. Now that pattern will likely continue until a drastic wind shift happens. So air quality won't be an issue from, say, Maui to Kauai all the way through Wednesday. But of course, the Big Island, well, they'll have to live with the fog for who knows how long. Coming up later, we'll check on a new swell heading this way pretty soon.
Thank you, Guy. Help for residents impacted by the Kilauea eruption continues to pour in. Today, First Hawaiian Bank donated $50,000 to provide support for families displaced by the lava and volcanic activity. The bank's Community Care Employee Volunteer Program will also be sending people out into the affected neighborhoods to lend a hand wherever needed. When we return, the identity of the pregnant hiker who died this weekend on an Oahu trail. Plus, find out what caused authorities to shut down the H3 in both directions for several hours.